This daf Yerushalmi Shevi'is. Article host the edition on daf Yud Chesed Aleph. Marbitzim Afar Lavan, and in the Vilna edition we are on daf Vav Amud Beis. Not Vav Amud Aleph, I think. Yeah, the last line. Marbitzim Afar Lavan. And I think I made a mistake yesterday. I think I followed the Kavanaugh's division of the Mishnayos, which I often do my mistake, which is apologize for. And I did not read the second part of the Mishnah because the Kavanaugh's separates the first half and the second half. So we'll read it now. Going back to the Mishnah, which was on Daf Yud Zayin, Amud Beis. Marbitzin ba'afar lavan. You on Shemitah. You can irrigate the offer leaven, which is a soft ground. Now, this irrigation is not regular irrigation; it's spraying water. You spray water at the offer leaven. The Rabbi Shimon of Rabbi Yaakov says it's not permitted. The Rabbi Yaakov evidently holds it's only mutter to do to draw water from tree to tree as necessary, but not to spray the ground. Memarsin ba'orez b'shvi'is. Memarsin means that you can water the rice paddy until it becomes muddy. It becomes mixed. The water and dirt become mixed. That's the way you water rice. It's talking about rice which took root during the 6th year. It doesn't have kedusha shvius. Rav Shimon Omer Avol Ein Mekaschin. You can't cut the leaves or trim the leaves of the rice so it should grow better. That you can't do during Shemitah. Okay, so the Gemara says, Aser Rabbi Shimon Krabanan Rabbi Elazar Yakushitase. Rabbi Shimon goes like Rabbanan, Rabbi Elazar like his own opinion in the following brisa. Tzina Tamon, maybe it's in the Mishnah. It says, Rabbi Elazar Yaakov Omer Moshe Chesed Ilan LeIlan on Chol HaMoed. You draw water from field tree to tree, but you can't water the entire field. Same thing here. You can't be spray the entire field with water. You can just draw from water from tree to tree. Seeds which had not been watered before Yontif, you can't water them on Chol HaMoed. Evidently, these are seeds which didn't need so much water. So if you didn't water before Yontif, you don't water them on Yontif either. Now, Chol HaMoed. We say both are permitted. Okay, it says more. Right, Mora Amar Lastam Rabbi Avi Mishem Shmuel. Excuse me a second. Bistam Choki. So that which we say in the Mishnah Moed Katan, that this machlokas which you just cited, it didn't say anything about the distance from the trees from each other. So mamana, it's Bistam. Here it's kind of like a question. Not only Stam kind of statement. Here it's a question. Are they arguing without any specification? What is the specification? What are we talking about? If they're very spread out and there aren't 10 in a base saw, everybody holds its saucer. You have to water each tree individually as needed. You can't draw any water from one to the other. No, that's wrong. Sorry. In that case, in other words, that you can't water the entire field. Only draw water from. They would be murder. Only draw water from tree to tree. In Birtzufin, if they're closer together, so then Divrakol Mutter. So then you're allowed to water the entire field on account of those trees. So the Elakena Kayamim. So close together means evidently closer than 10 base saw, as we'll see in a moment. When they're precisely 10 in a base saw. He says they are like being less than 10 in a base saw, and therefore you have to go from tree to tree. But like Tzuvin, Rabbanan say it's like they're packed closer together, and therefore you can water the entire field for them. Rabbanan Amir Vachin Asal Ashkos. Okay, Rabbanan agree that if they're too far apart, you can't water the entire field. Fine. Ma'alam Shich. What about drawing from tree to tree? So making little canals from tree to tree. Therefore, does Rabbanan mean does Rabbi Elazar Yaakov? We learn out what Rabbanan hold from Elazar ben Yaakov. Come on, Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov Omar Miruvachin also lahashkos mutlam shich. When they're too far apart, you can't water the entire area, but you can draw water from tree to tree. Kain Rabbanan, I mean mutlam shich lahashkos. So Rabbanan would tell the same thing with slichara, that you could draw from tree to tree. You can't water the entire field. So the Gemara says. Locate seven Meimar b'muvachin dibra kol aser. I forgot what that means. A second here. Okay, so the Gemara said. Actually, the Gemara concludes that that's the case. That's Rabbanan hold like Lesman Yaakov b'muvachin. Fine. Okay, so now let's get back to our Mishnah. Locate seven Meimar b'muvachin dibra kol aser. We just said that everybody agrees. Rabbi Shimon and Rabbanan and Rabbi Lesman Yaakov. Then if they're too far apart. You can't spray the entire field. You have to specifically do from tree to tree. As well, hey, now for 11, the white dirt in our Mishnah, lav k'muvachin, is it not like k'muvachin? It should be the same size as muvachin. So that case, why did Rabbi Shimon allow you to spray the entire field? So the Gemara says, you know what? You have to do a distinction. Kamba moed, kamba Shevi'is. Difference between Chol Moed and Shemitah. Well, what's the difference? Ba'bein Shevi'is ubein Chol Moed. What is the difference? She's Haideshu Muteres b'Malacha. Shemitah, since you're allowed to do Malacha during Shemitah, there's no way to Malacha in Shemitah. So therefore, Yitir bein b'davar shu b'torach, bein b'davar she'eino torach. There are matir to do things whether it's a tircha or whether it isn't a tircha. In other words, that they were not makbid on tircha by Shemitah, and you do things even though they're a tircha. Moed adesh also b'malacha, but moed chamoed, it's also do malacha chamoed. Whole issue of what's also do chamoed is a big issue. General understanding is that Masan Akasal Chachamim. Chachamim were the ones to determine what malacha is also chamoed, what malacha is not also chamoed. But it is also to do malacha on chamoed, unless something chachamim matir, which of course leads to all sorts of questions in halacha about writing on chamoed, etc., etc. So, but they're only matir something which is not Torah. I should say, Moed Shlosim Lo Yitir El Davar Shu Aved. First, it has to be Davar Aved, whether you would sustain a loss if you didn't do it, and Bilvad She'eino Torach, and it can't be a tircha. The way the Kavanaki puts it, he wants to say, based on the Ramban, he says in Vayikra Chav Gimel Chav Dalet that Chachamim were Chachamim made Chol Moed also by some malachos. Not different. It's different than Masan Kosel Chachamim. That's I think what the Ramban says there. But he says since they are. By the way, this father next thing he says was good. Says since they it's also malacha, they also aser Torah. Because malacha doesn't itself aser Torah, but since malacha is also, so therefore Chachamim also aser Torah. So evidently, to spray a whole field is a Torah, and the Chachamim were not making that when it came to Chol Moed, even though by Shemitah we can't be matirin. Some say Shevi'is Aidesh is mana merubah. Another point the Kavanaki makes that obviously some tircha doing anything, even drawing the water from the tree. There's tircha, but we should diminish the amount of tircha which we do. The other thing is possibly Shevi'is Aidesh is mana merubah, since it's a long-term thing. He said, listen, let's be real, and go a whole year without watering. So therefore, we'll let you do even the optimal way of watering, even though it's more tircha, anytime during Shemitah. Moed Adeshu Kotzer, Moed, because it's short, we're not going to do the optimal way of watering that you do after Chol Moed, or before Chol Moed. Chol Moed, we curtail your capacity to water. Ostan Shiva Yom Achronim. Okay, so fine. What about the last 7 days of Shemitah? That should be like Chol Moed, because it's not a short amount of time, right? Lo Mistamei Avdin Kishiva Tzimei Regel, but you asur it. So doesn't make sense to say that they should be usher to water during that time because it's a short time till Sheminis. It's only a short time, just like after Kol Hamoed. It's a great question. Ashkech Tani, that we didn't find that though. There was kind of Marbitzin for love and Mashiach of love and Moed, Rabbi Shimon, Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov Oser. So we did find a brisa which says this makes a distinction between Shemitah and Chol Hamoed, but doesn't say anything about the last 7 days. Lulei the Mistafina, I would say that this Ashkech Tani, I didn't check to see the Farshim say it, but I would say Ashkech Tani maybe should be before the Osam Shivan Yomi, because that Ashkech Tani is a riot to the chiluk we gave between Shemitah and Chol Hamoed. So therefore it should be right after that answer. And then afterwards we have this question which we don't answer. What about the last 7 days of last 7 days of Shemitah? Although on the side of my Gemara I wrote here that, you know what, it could be there's another shot here, which is that when it says that it's coming to reject the second answer we gave above. And we gave 2 answers, right? The answer which was Torah versus non-Torah, and the answer of which is not Torah, which is Torah, the not during Shemitah, not during Chol Hamoed. And we said something which is a short time versus something which is a long time. So what the Gemara is doing now is saying, you know what? That second answer has a problem, because then we should find the distinction between the last 7 days of Shemitah and the rest of the year. Since we don't find that distinction, so therefore it must be that distinction between Chol Hamoed and Shemitah is not about distinction. We have to find another. Have to go with the first distinction that Davar Shehu Torah they could matir during Shemitah, even though they're matir during Chol Hamoed. Okay, that brings us to the end of the parak. And really, we have 2 lines left in the page, which is the beginning of the next parak. Question whether it's worth starting the next parak now. Let's start the next parak and go to the top of the Amud. We'll start in the Mishnah. If you have fertilizer in your yard. No, on second thought, I think we're going to leave the whole Mishnah for Daf Yutes. Just have to be anyway.